This is Vicki Romaine with Cheerful Greetings, and today we're going to talk about Christmas. Even though this is October, well, almost at the end of October, we're going to jump fast forward to Christmas. And today we're going to make some tags or ornaments, and they're shaky ornaments or tags, depending on how you want to use it. This one, I put birdseed in it, and it kind of looks like bread dough from the little gingerbread guy. This one, I used foam pebbles in it, and this one, I used snowflakes. And I want to show you the foam pebbles. I got this many foam pebbles out of one bag. Now, say that you don't have the foam pebbles or the birdseed or the snowflake, you can always go to your hole punch and bring out your waste. So, you could always use that and it gets rid of those also. Okay, now let me show you how to make it. Let me get my little dots out of the way. First, I'm going to, I have this circle here, and I'm going to measure it, and let's see how it is approximately 3.5 inches, and my hole is approximately 2.5 inches. So that kind of gives you an idea of how big it is. First thing we're going to do is make one with a picture inside. And this is how you do it. You take a circle of your designer paper or cardstock. You want cardstock there. You don't want paper. And you take your picture and you want to try to place it in the center. But if that's a problem, we'll do it another way. We'll take the picture out and we'll use our foam that we've cut to the same measurements. And if you notice it's kind of stuck together, that's because I cut both at the same time. But they're not glued together. They're just stuck. So we're going to do one at a time. First thing I'm going to do is put a little glue around the edge. And I'm using Aleene's Tacky Glue. I take it and place it over my cardstock, trying to make it center. And you do it like this to make sure it's center. Now, we have a hole that we can put our little girl in. And we'll know she's in the center circle. And now we know that she's completely lined up. Mash it down good. You don't want it to curl on the sides. Okay, next, you need to let it dry so that your sparkles and all won't stick to it. But I'm going to go ahead and show this straight in a row. In other words, I'll continue on. But you need to let all your different parts dry. Okay, we put the next piece of foam on. And this is foam that it came in a sheet. I believe it was about an 8.5 by 11 sheet. I can't remember exactly, for about 99 cents. Okay. Now, I have 2 layers on her. And in the ideal situation, you let it glue. Let it be glued and dry. Now, I have already got the front ready. And I have put a piece of plastic or acrylic, and I put it on my circle. Now, I want to show you my acrylic. Let's see. I think this was well, I think about it, this is 12 by 18, I'm sorry. And it was 2mm for 99 cents. So that was a pretty good deal. This just happens to be the white one that I picked up some red and some white. And they come in solid sheets. You can get a package of 2 colors, 2 sheets of each. But their packages are much smaller. And if you're going to do all the same color, you don't want that. You want to get the single sheets. Now, I want to show you my acrylic. I have had it sitting underneath here because it's curved. And let me show you why it's curved. This is the larger of the 2 rows. This one's 6 inches, and this one is 4 inches. And it's curved because, of course, it came in a row. And it's actually a cake collar. But it does fine, and it was cheap. And so that's what I'm going with. And it's really good that it kind of curves a little bit because you want space there for your confetti or whatever to move. And as I said, this one's already done and dried. And so what I'm going to do is put some confetti. Let's see. I think I'm going to put my foam pebbles in. And this is one time you definitely don't want to sneeze. Because these little things. I've got a spoon here. I don't know if I want get out a few at a time. You don't want too many in it. You just want enough for it to be a shaker card. And I think this package will last me for a while. I believe I actually bought 2 packages, and I won't live long enough to use both of those. Okay, now, as I said, this is already dry. So what I'm going to do is use my fast drying glue here. And this is the designer glue, art glitter. And if you accidentally do, like I just did, and hit the acrylic, you can take your nail and wipe it off after it dries. But this is going to be on the inside, so I'm going to have to take something and wipe it. There we go. And you just turn this over like this. Mash the cardstock down. Now what I'm doing is kind of moving my cardstock around to match up with the circle. Sometimes the foam wants to stick out on one side. There we go. Now the whole thing is put together. I am not going to shake it until everything is dry, because I don't want the little balls to get in the glue. That might still be wet on the outside, or might have seeped over. Okay, that's one of them. Now, after I've completed with having it dry, I'm going to take my hole punch the one that made those little circles, and punch a hole in it. And it will go through all of the layers. But I'm not going to do it now because I want this to dry. Now, we're going to work with another one. Now, that's with having a picture in the background. That's like the one I did here with the reindeer. Now we're going to make one like this. It's pretty much the same idea. We're going to start with a backing, which in this case is not solid. It has the circle in it. Then we're going to take an acrylic circle, and I'm going to take my fast drying glue. First, I want to put my needle back in it, make sure it's going to come out good. I lost the pen, so now I'm using a needle with thread in it, so that when it hits the floor, I can find it. So we do like this. Okay. Now, this time I don't want right at the edge, but there's no need to cover the whole area yet. Just do us a nice line. Pretty close to the edge, but I don't want it to seep over into the acrylic circle. Now, if you use this acrylic, and it does have the bend to it, turn it with the puffed out part to the outside. And then what we want to do here is just hold it a few minutes. And if you don't have enough fingers to hold it, you can just do something like this. Put your glue on it on each side, and that will hold it flat. In the meantime, I have this one that's already done. Now this is the back. You always start from the back. This one's already glued. It's got the acrylic piece in here. It's got the 2 layers of foam. Let me see if this is about dry yet. It's pretty close. We'll scoot this over just a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do, this time I'm going to take some snowflakes. And these are actually called confetti. Here is the tag for the foam pebbles. It's $2.99 for the jar. Well, for the package. And then I put them all in the jar because I knew once it was open, and if I dropped them, well, we won't explain it any further. And I need to get me a jar for these, but I can handle this a little better. These are my confetti snowflakes. Got a little static electricity there. And you don't want so many that it doesn't shake around, but you want enough to see. So we'll leave that like that. Now, I think my piece has gotten set. And when I'm looking for my little nail that I usually put in my glue. Here it is. Okay, now I want this to set up quickly again. So I'm going to use my glitter glue. Okay, I think we've got it pretty much covered. I don't want a whole lot, I just want, and I usually kind of wipe off my plastic because it picks up little fragments of paper and dust. And we put this on top. And now you have your see-through shaker. And this is not set up yet, but you can see that it does shake. And again, after it's set up good, I'll punch a hole in it and put a ribbon. Let me see. And then I put something on the outside. So let's see what we can find to put on the outside. First, let me close up my glue. I have to make that a primary thing to do. Okay. Now, here's one I did with a snowman. Let's see what kind of stickers I can find here. I had some in my stash. Okay. Okay, I've got some here, little leftovers. Since we got snowflakes, why don't we put the little house on here? And this is nothing but a sticker. And after now, the catch is you do one of two things first, and then you have to adjust the other. If I put him on now, which I plan to do, that determines where I put my hole. In other words, I put my hole here. Or if I put my hole down, you want to make sure that you put your decoration or your embellishment in the right place. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have the girl as a foam pebbles. Well, let's see. I guess we'll use this. It's kind of large. No, let's put that one back. That's too large. Let me see if I can find something else here. I got some more somewhere. Okay. Yes. Here's a snowman. We'll put a snowman on here. And it'll be done. And now I've got to make sure he's facing the same way that the girl is. Okay. There we go. Now, I hope you like this tutorial. If you will, please come back and see me and see what I have in store for you. But next time, I will give you a hint. You see the circles that I cut out of these, both the foam and the cardstock? I'll be using them next time. So please come back and see me and see what I'm going to do with them. And have a great crafting day. Don't forget, please subscribe. Bye.